Now, you may have heard the term ultra-processed foods quite a lot recently. They are everywhere, from our supermarkets, in our kitchen cupboards. They now make up more than half of the average UK diet. But what are they? What are the hidden health risks do they pose? And to answer all those questions, we're joined by one of the UK's leading scientists and author of Ultra-Processed People. And that is Dr. Chris van Tulleken. Welcome.
Woo. Hi, everyone.
Hi. The question we're asking here is, why do we all eat stuff that isn't food, but we see it as food? So what is ultra-processed food?
So ultra-processed food is a formal scientific term. It's not like junk food or fast food. It's a definition. It's housed by the United Nations. It's used by the World Health Organization. It's very long, but it boils down to, if there is a list of ingredients and you don't recognise something as something you'd find in a domestic kitchen, like a stabiliser or an emulsifier, flavourings, colourings, then that is very likely to be an ultra-processed.
So is that most foods?
In the UK, this is 60% of our calories.
60%?
Almost all breakfast cereals, almost all supermarket breads, flavoured yoghurts, lots of these foods that pose as being healthy. In fact, if there is a health claim on the box or the pack, it is almost certainly ultra-processed.
Do you know what's so scary about that? You could eat fresh food, but then the seasoning that you put on it is got all that ultra-processed. I didn't even think about that.
If you are cooking at home, you cannot ultra-process in your kitchen. It's impossible to do it. So this is industrially made food. So when we flavour things
like
at home...
ready-made food.
This is pre-made food. Food's assembled by big companies, so they're convenient and ready to eat.
Chris, how do we navigate it? Because if you are somebody who chooses to be at home and you can, you know, you have the time to go out every day and source the food and look, well, if you're my age, you can't see it, but, you know, you're like this. And you can organically prepare all that. But for a lot of us on here in the audience, we're living incredibly busy lives and we're going to the supermarket. I mean, you know, is it OK to eat it sometimes? It's
definitely OK. And one of the things I don't say in ultra-processed people is I don't give any advice about what anyone should do, because part of the problem, when you ask how to navigate it, is we are surrounded by this food and we have and
it's delicious a lot of the time.
Yeah. Well, I would finesse that. It's not actually delicious, but it is engineered so you can't stop eating it. So a lot of the time, it's a bit like the ex-smokers in the room will recognise this, where you don't actually enjoy it, but you can't stop consuming it. And alcohol, cigarettes and some ultra-processed products are like that.
So why is it so bad for it? What does it actually do to our bodies? What are some of the risks?
So this is such an important question. We now have more than a decade of research. We have hundreds of scientific studies showing that it causes, most obviously, weight gain, because it's food that's made for profit. If you're running a food company, the most important thing is that people buy lots of food. So it's engineered so it's hard to stop eating. We know that some of the major food companies use brain scanners and teams of neuroscientists to develop their ice cream, their soft drinks, their breakfast cereals.
To make us want more and more.
Right. So if you find you can't stop eating the ice cream, which is certainly me, there is a reason for that. It's because it's been designed by a genius so that you can't stop eating it.
You see, I wish the government would do more about stopping sugar and chocolate going into cereals and everything. But my question really is, how do you spot it when we're out shopping?
So I think we're gonna come to this. But if you're reading, first of all, if you are reading an ingredients list on a product, it's probably ultra processed. If there is something on that list that you don't have in a typical well-stocked domestic kitchen, it is almost certainly ultra processed. And this is just a huge range of products.
We have to bring our glasses with us to make sure.
Oh my God, I'm surprised I'm still alive.
You definitely need glasses.
You see that we're showing now? That to me doesn't look that bad. Skimmed milk powder, milk whey powder. Like, what's wrong with that?
This is lots of mueslis like this. So there's nothing wrong with milk powder, or the whey powder is what makes it ultra-processed. But you will find the whey powder is doing two things. It makes it taste a little bit more yummy. There's also added sugar and salt. And so instead of having one bowl, you have two.
So he stayed with us and he's been rifling through our shopping baskets and going to let us know what's good. Or you're probably going to let us know what's bad, aren't you?
Actually, Ruth, I'm not going to judge you at all. One of the main projects... The main thing I wanted to achieve with the book was to try and reduce the shame that we all feel around our food. So, in fact, in the book, I don't tell anyone what to eat. In fact, I invite you to eat along. So this is a classic ultra-processed product. My suggestion is leave them in your basket. But what I want you to do is, when you think you're enjoying these, just read that list and read a little bit about ultra-processed food and And
The thing is, you see, I wouldn't just have the one little bag. There's
None
only
of us
about
can.
6 crisps
Yeah.
in an hour.
Yeah.
All of
Have the
those.
whole packet.
All of those.
if I brought that home, I'd eat them all in one night. So
Yes.
they wouldn't come home with me.
No.
But eat them, read the ingredients, and ask yourself, were they made by someone who loves you? Were they made to nourish you? Or were they made to turn...
Or are they just really delicious in front of the television?
We've also
anything
got... Now,
good?
and I'd propose the same
I didn't see
thing.
that.
I'd propose
It's got
the same.
nuts in it.
It's got nuts. You know what?
It's got fruit and nuts in it, hasn't it?
There are more ultra-processed chocolate. Again, I'd look at the ingredients list, I'd leave this in the basket, I'd eat it, and if you read it, you'll see this is... You think this is chocolate, really, this is a mixture of emulsifiers, palm fat, shea fat, and there's E442, E442... Flavourings, why does it have flavourings? I would buy another bar of chocolate and compare it and see if you like the, you know, the real chocolate, the 3-ingredient chocolate.
You see, I wake up in the morning and for my breakfast and to keep me regular, I think I'm doing a good thing by having these biscuits, you know?
This is... My kids eat these for breakfast. They are... there's very few ingredients. It's, you know, it's wheat flour and barley malt extract and some sugar and salt. These are fine.
So those are OK?
These are fine. Now, the interesting thing here is the ready meal. Now, I definitely eat these. This, I believe, is a portion for 2 people. I put it to you, for the most part, most of us struggle to... If I got this home, I'd eat the whole thing and I'd then get the paper out and I'd make it. This is not quite ultra-processed, actually. You have all these ingredients at home. But it's important to remember, just because something isn't ultra-processed, it can still be very high in sugar and saturated fat and salt.
But occasionally...
Ready meals have a place.
Yeah.
I use them. But there's loads of great stuff in this basket. But the ready meal is the thing to draw your attention.
Thanks, Chris.
You do. Do me now,
Chris.
Julie, I want to say this is a really healthy basket. You've got broccoli, you've got eggs, you've got mince. There's loads of stuff here. There are 2 things. Now, look, if you have your southern fried chicken strips with the broccoli and some rice, that can be a healthy meal. But again, I just check out that ingredients list. There must be 20 or more things there. Lots of them you don't have in your kitchen. And it's the coconut milk. Look, I never tell people what to eat, but the one bit of advice I will give is humans really should drink 2 things, milk and water. If you like a glass of wine, go for it. But the coconut milk, fine, not bad.
Not bad.
Should we drink whole milk, Chris?
Doesn't really matter.
Doesn't matter.
Milk's
OK.
good for you.
I'm all kind of toast intolerant, lactose.
If you're lactose intolerant, stick to the water.
I try to.
This is non-nutritive sweeteners. This people buy because it has a sort of health halo around
Yeah,
it.
I thought it was...
But really, we don't think these non-nutritive sweeteners...
Kombucha. So what are you saying, the kombucha's not kombucha in?
I would get yourself a glass... You won't kombucha after, but no, stick to the carrots.
Now, Chris, I have to tell you, up front, I try to make as much stuff from fresh. But see, with fruit, so we got a lot of fresh fruit.
Yeah.
But a lot of the times, say to eat in the car or whatever.
These are great.
Quite like
You've got a little fruit salad.
Is there anything in there?
No, this is just fruit. This is grape, strawberry. This is great. It's
Right,
great.
OK. And what about salad? Do they put anything in that to keep
No,
it fresh?
the salad's all good.
OK.
You've got the potato
Spuds,
breads, which I love.
Coming from Ireland, I love the
My
spuds.
wife's from Wigan, so we're into them. The bread is on the cover of my book because bread is our kind of national problem. 99% of our bread isn't really bread. It's an emulsified foam. And if you look on here, we've got some wheat flour, we've got emulsifiers, mono and diacetyl tartaric acid esters of mono and
Then
diglycerides
I'm going to
of
stop you
fatty
right there
acids.
because there are medical reasons sometimes why you can't have rough bread, brown bread and everything because I would have a tummy problem if I have too much brown bread. So therefore my doctor would say eat blandly and have white bread.
What about
so
sourdough?
sometimes medical things actually cut in.
I think that's right. And this bread, for many people, it's not harmful to have it once in a while, but because this is the foundation of our diet, because it's so soft compared to real bread, if you look at how you can crush it down, we eat it incredibly quickly and we generally overeat.
Do you make your own bread?
I buy it from a fancy restaurant. I'm too lazy.
Thank you.
Gloria, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, listen, I don't think we were too bad, do you?
No,
Bad.
you
Thank
did
you
wonderfully.
very much, Dr. Chris Van Tulleken. I have to say, I opened the chocolate and now I can't stop. This is the problem, isn't it?